If you're adding manure to your garden and your plants still look weak, slow, or inconsistent, there's a good chance the manure isn't helping you, it's working against you. And the mistake is so common that most gardeners don't even question it. They dig it in, mix it deep, and expect better soil. But what they're actually doing is creating nutrient lockups, damaging root zones, and throwing off the entire balance underground. I ran into this myself in a set of raised beds that should have been thriving. The soil looked dark, rich, full of organic matter, but growth was uneven. Some plants took off, others stalled for no clear reason. The issue wasn't a lack of nutrients, it was how those nutrients were being delivered. And one of the biggest turning points came when I stopped burying manure and started controlling how organic material breaks down before it even hits the soil. That's where a small tool made a surprisingly big difference. I started using a 4-liter electric composter to pre-process kitchen and organic waste into a stable form that doesn't disrupt soil biology. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It solves a problem most gardeners overlook, adding material that's still too active and unpredictable. Once I removed that variable, everything became more consistent. Now let's get into what's actually going wrong with manure and the layering method that fixes it. The problem starts the moment manure hits the soil in the wrong way. Manure isn't bad. In fact, it's one of the most powerful inputs you can use, but only if it's handled correctly. When you bury manure, especially fresh or partially decomposed, you create a zone where microbes go into overdrive. They start breaking it down aggressively, and in that process, they consume nitrogen from the surrounding soil. That nitrogen was supposed to feed your plants. Instead, it gets tied up temporarily in microbial activity. This is why plants often show pale leaves or slow growth after manure is added. It's not that the soil is poor, it's that the nutrients are temporarily unavailable. And it doesn't stop there. You're also creating uneven conditions roots don't want to grow into. Roots don't just grow wherever they can. They respond to the environment around them. Buried manure creates pockets of heat, moisture imbalance, and sometimes even ammonia release. These conditions push roots away instead of attracting them. I've pulled up plants where roots grew around manure zones rather than through them. That means less nutrient uptake, weaker structure, and lower yields. In containers and raised beds, this effect is even stronger because the system is smaller and less forgiving. But here's where things start to shift. The layering method changes how manure interacts with your soil. Instead of burying manure, you layer it on top in a controlled way that mimics natural soil building. This is not just throwing it on the surface. There's a structure to it. You start with a thin base layer of carbon-rich material. This can be dry leaves, shredded cardboard, or straw. About 1 to 2 inches is enough. This layer acts like a buffer. It absorbs excess nitrogen and balances the decomposition process. On top of that, you add a thin layer of manure or processed organic material. No more than ½ an inch at a time. This is where most people overdo it. Thick layers create the same problems as burying. It's just happening on the surface instead. Then you lightly cover it with another thin carbon layer or even existing soil. Not to bury it, but to keep moisture stable and prevent exposure, and then you leave it alone. What you're doing here is controlling decomposition instead of forcing it. The carbon layer slows down microbial activity just enough to prevent nitrogen theft. The manure layer feeds microbes steadily instead of overwhelming them. And because everything is happening at the surface, oxygen levels stay balanced. Nutrients are released gradually and move downward with water right into the root zone. I tested this in a backyard bed that had been underperforming for 2 seasons. After applying this layered approach every couple of weeks, growth became noticeably more uniform. Leaf color improved, fruit set increased, and the soil itself became easier to work with, looser, darker, more alive. This is where most people get impatient and ruin the process. Layering works because it's gradual, but a lot of gardeners want fast results, so they add too much too quickly. That's where things go wrong. If you add more than ½ an inch of manure at once, even on the surface, you risk creating a mini hot zone that disrupts the balance. The key is consistency, not volume. In my own beds, I stick to small, regular applications. Every 2 to 3 weeks during active growth, I add a thin layer and let the system handle it. Over time, this builds a rich, stable soil without shocks or setbacks. You can apply this method in almost any growing system. In raised beds, the layering method works exactly as described. It's one of the easiest systems to manage because you can control inputs precisely. In containers, you scale it down. A 1/4-inch layer of processed material followed by a light carbon cover is enough. Containers don't have the buffering capacity of large beds, so less is more. In larger in-ground gardens, you can go slightly thicker with the base carbon layer, especially if the soil is compacted or low in organic matter. But the principle stays the same: thin layers, consistent application. Even in hydroponics, this concept matters. You're not layering manure, but you are controlling how nutrients are introduced and stabilize. When I use compost teas made from properly processed material, the difference in plant response is immediate. It's smoother, more predictable, and less prone to imbalance. There's a hidden benefit most people don't notice right away. When you layer manure properly, you're not just feeding plants, you're rebuilding soil structure. Earthworms are drawn to the surface layers. Microbial populations stabilize. Fungal networks spread without being disrupted by digging. In one of my beds, I went from barely seeing any worm activity to finding them consistently under every layer within a month. And once they're active, they start doing the mixing for you, pulling organic matter down naturally. This is what healthy soil is supposed to look like. Not something you constantly turn and fix, but something that maintains itself. Why this method outperforms traditional composting in some cases. Traditional composting works, but it takes time, space, and effort. And even then, results can be inconsistent if conditions aren't right. Layering allows you to compost directly in place, but in a controlled way that avoids the common pitfalls. And when you combine it with pre-processed organic material, you remove even more uncertainty. That's been one of the biggest advantages in my setup. I don't have to wait months to get usable compost. I can feed my soil regularly with material that's already stable. If your garden has been underperforming, this is worth testing immediately. A lot of gardeners keep adding more inputs when things don't work. More fertilizer, more amendments, more digging. But sometimes the solution is not adding more. It's changing how you apply what you already have. Layering manure properly can reset your soil biology, stabilize nutrient flow, and create conditions where plants actually thrive. It's not complicated, but it does require a shift in how you think about soil. This is where real gardening starts to make sense. Once you understand that soil is a living system, not just a medium, everything changes. You stop forcing results and start guiding processes. Layering manure the right way is one of those simple changes that has a long-term impact. It reduces problems, improves consistency, and makes your garden easier to manage. If you're serious about getting better results, subscribe to the channel. And if you know someone still digging manure into their beds and wondering why things aren't improving, share this with them. Because when you start working with soil biology instead of against it, your garden stops being unpredictable and starts working the way it should.